Egypt, a land crowned with gold, built on sweat and fear. For generations, God's people labored beneath the sun, their cries lost beneath the sound of hammers. They built monuments for a king who did not remember Joseph, a king who feared their growing strength. Yet even in the shadows of sorrow, God was weaving a story of deliverance, a story that would begin with the courage of one small girl. Pharaoh had ordered that every Hebrew baby boy be thrown into the Nile. It was a time of tears, but one mother's faith was stronger than fear.
Mother, will they come for him?
Hush, my child. God will show us what to do.
Soft morning light slips through the doorway. Miriam sits beside her mother on the floor, watching quietly. Jochebed's hands move with care, weaving one reed after another. Miriam leans in, her small fingers trying to help. The warm smell of straw and smoke fills the air. Jochebed pauses for a moment. This is more than a basket. It's a fragile hope for her child's life. When the basket is finished, Jochebed gently places the baby inside. She reassures him. Miriam's tears fall quietly as she watches. The morning is still and quiet as they step outside. Miriam walks close. At the riverbank, Jochebed kneels and sets the basket on the water. She lets go and closes her eyes, the pain too heavy to bear. Miriam watches the basket drift away, her heart heavy but brave. She stays hidden in the reeds, tears falling, trusting that somehow God will take care of him. Time passes slowly as Miriam waits, hidden among the reeds. Then Pharaoh's daughter comes down to the river to bathe, with her servants walking beside her. Their laughter and footsteps echo softly across the water. As Pharaoh's daughter nears the water, her eyes catch something drifting among the reeds. A small basket, gently rocking with the current.
A Hebrew baby. Poor little one.
Excuse me, my lady. Would you like me to find a woman who can care for him? Someone from the Hebrews?
Yes, child. Go, bring her quickly.
And so, with courage beyond her years, Miriam runs to bring her mother. In that moment, God begins to weave a miracle. The princess asked Jochebed to care for the baby until he was older. With joy and gratitude, Jochebed took her son home. The same child she once placed in the river, now safe in her arms. When he grew, she brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who named him Moses, saying he was drawn out of the water. Years passed. The baby from the river grew into a man chosen by God. Through Moses, the Lord showed his power, sending signs, freeing his people, and leading them out of Egypt. And through it all, Miriam watched. The little girl who once waited by the river was now a woman of faith, standing beside her brothers, Moses and Aaron. When God parted the Red Sea and the people crossed safely, their fear turned into joy. And Miriam, the prophet, the sister, lifted her voice in praise. With the women following her, Miriam sang and danced, giving thanks to the Lord who had saved them. Time passed as the people traveled through the desert. God led them each day through Moses, his chosen servant. Miriam, who once sang by the sea, now walked as a leader among her people. Beside her was Aaron, her brother, the high priest of Israel. Together, they had stood with Moses through many trials. But one day, pride found its way into their hearts.
Why should Moses be the only one God speaks through? Hasn't God spoken through us too?
Yes, we serve him as well. Why should Moses lead alone?
The Lord heard them. His presence came down in a thick cloud, and his voice filled the air with power. He reminded them that Moses was his chosen and faithful servant, the one he spoke to face to face. When the cloud lifted, Aaron turned toward Miriam, and his heart sank. Her skin had turned white, covered with leprosy. Aaron cried out to Moses, begging for mercy, and Moses, filled with love for his sister, prayed to God for her healing. God listened, but he said Miriam must stay outside the camp for 7 days. It was a time for her to think, to heal, and to remember his mercy. And when she returned, the people rejoiced. They had waited for her, and the journey continued. Even in her weakness, God's love never left her. Miriam's life was filled with love, faith, and dependence on God. She watched over her baby brother, praised God by the sea, and followed his guidance through the desert. She was not perfect. She stumbled, even faced the consequences of pride. Yet God's mercy never left her. Through every joy and every trial, Miriam learned to rely on God alone. Her story reminds us that trusting Him, even in uncertainty, can shape lives and leave a legacy that endures.